Today we're going to introduce decision making with simple things like if and else blocks. Okay, and we will do this within the context of a little application that performs certain operations based on user input. Okay, so let me paste some code that I made earlier. This time I already have the program.cs open here. Okay, so I will not be doing that anymore in order to save time. That's a simple step. Okay, so step number one will be to type double, and then you can say first value like this. Okay, then you can say double and then second value like this. Now what we are going to do is prompt the user to enter two values. So we will say console.writeLine and enter first value like this, close with a semicolon, and then you're going to say here, of course, first value equals, then as we've done before, double dot and then parse, and now you're going to say console.readLine, close that with a semicolon. Okay, there you go. So remember, we're declaring two variables, so we can say values into them. They'll operate on the values. Alright, so let me just paste this same logic down below. So console.writeLine, enter second value now. Okay, and then you're going to save this into the second variable here, so change this to second value like that. So this is highly sequential, one step at a time. Okay, now once we've done that, what we want to do is tell the user to enter D for division. So we're going to say console.writeLine and enter D for division, close with a semicolon. And now I'm going to show you how to apply what you learned previously. So you're going to say character m equals, and now you're going to do a cast. You're going to type character, and then you're going to type console.read and close with a semicolon. See? So this will take the input from the console and convert it to a character. If you try to do this without this, take a look. See, it says here, cannot implicitly convert type integer to character, and explicit conversion exists. Are you missing a cast? You see this? So that this tells you what the return is. You see? It says the return essentially is an integer, and then an integer can be converted into a character. So you can type here character like that. Okay? There you go. Alright, so now what we're going to do is introduce the if construct. So you're going to say if m, and then you're going to put the double equals, which does not mean assignment, it means comparison. So if m equals d, then you will take a certain action. An action to be taken will be this one, console.writeLine, and then you're going to say, you can do this several different ways. This is one way. First value, right, divided by, and then you're going to say plus second value is, and then you'll say plus, and then you'll say, of course, first value divided by second value. There you go. Close that with a semicolon. And of course, the possibility is that the user enters something different from a D. So we'll write else, and then you can say here console.writeLine and the letter you've entered does not correspond to an operation. Close that with a semicolon, and that's it. Okay, so let's delete this. And it looks like this. Okay, so this is our logic. This is not a trivial example necessarily, but there you go. So let's give it a build. But the value of trivial examples is limited ultimately. So here we are. Let's go through the execution one time. If you'll go debug and start, say without debugging, enter first value. We'll put a 56 point. Then it says enter second value. Okay, let's see what happens if I just put dot and I hit enter, and it says enter D for division, and it says 56.898 divided by that number is some really small decimal, as you see. Okay, press any key to continue. There you go. So that's done. So this confirms that it works. Now the real, of course, insight comes from going debug and step into. This will allow us to observe the code line by line. Alright, so let's take a look at the results here. And here, what I'm going to do, remember you can collapse code, you see? So now you can collapse things. There you go. When you have a lot of code, that's very helpful. Okay, so let me take the window. Let me take this here. Pin it on the screen. So it doesn't go away as the program runs. Okay, so notice this is going to be highly sequential. Right, enter first value. So okay, notice this has now been stored into the variable first value. Okay, continue process, enter second value. Okay, so I put 56, hit enter. So that's been saved. Notice that right now, as you can see, M. Okay, there you go. Let's keep going here. Next one. There you go. Now it says enter D for division, so I will do that. Hit enter. And notice that M, as you can see, it says 68, and this converts to D. See that? So this tells us there's a number mapping between characters and numbers. You see 68 corresponds to the letter D. So now look very carefully at the execution here. If you hover your mouse over this, you see where it says M equals D is true. Okay, in fact, if you have your mouse over here, over many of these, you see that? Like character, max value is a number, and min value is that. Okay, so there's a connection between characters and integers, as you see here. You see? There you go. So, does M equal D? Yes, it does. That's a true statement. That means we're going to go into the body here, display that line, as we've done here on the screen. The else will be skipped, as you see here, and then we can unload the program from memory. There you go. So this is the logic. This is the heart of the program right here. Make sure you type that in. You can reproduce it. And this is also in the sidebar as a PDF, and that's it. So thanks very much, and I'll see you in another video.